Okay, so you watched this function machine video where you had an input going in to a function machine and something happening to the number and coming out as something different. And so there were several things that went through. And so when you look at this and you see y equals 2x, your input's going in, you're multiplying your x by 2, and your output is coming out as a different number. Then you had some times where y and x were the same. So if x went in as a 1, it came out as 1. And then you had some where every time x went in, y came out as 6. And there were several things, and you even had to try to come up, you subtracted 8, and then you even had to come up with some of your own. And so that's what we're going to focus on during the unit this time with functions. And so what I'd like for you to do is get your function sheet out. It's your first one. And we're going to look at this top square up here and fill some of this in based on the function machine. So based on the function machine, we started with an input on numbers that went in to the machine. Okay, and so that is going to go right here. And then we also had an output. And those were the numbers that came out of the machine. And so that is going to go here. Okay, now let's talk about the vocabulary of what is also known as the input. Input can be the x value. Okay, so we've talked about that. You saw that from the introduction video. Okay, and if you remember anything from previous about functions and the x value, you also know that it's the domain. Okay, and it's also the independent variable because you get to pick values that you want to put in to your function machine. Okay, now the output can also be known, as you saw on the video, as the y value. Okay, so that's one of them. That'll go here. And then what matches with the domain, that is the range. So the output is also known as the range. And then the independent variable, so then we also have the dependent variable because the dependent variable is what depends on what you put in for the x. So your y value depends on what your x value is that's put in for the function to happen, right? So what is a function? A function is a relationship, okay, where, well, that wasn't very good, was it? Let's try this again. Relationship where one or more variables so a relationship with one or more variables where each input has exactly one output. And we will end today with a video that will get that thinking in your head.